I'm your host, Elizabeth Durazio, coming to you from Valley Regional Hospital right here in Claremont. And down the street is a local treasure that is long neglected, and that's very sad. I'm a big proponent of making sure you check out your local library. And Michael Grace is joining us here from the Claremont Library, telling us about some wonderful things coming up this fall that you and your family really need to consider. Thank you for joining us.
Well, thank you for having me.
So libraries really are starting to experience a resurgence, particularly because now people can borrow books online and there's expanded offerings, but there's nothing like a good old-fashioned book that doesn't have a screen behind it.
That's absolutely correct. And one of the things we want to do is promote that, especially to children. And so it's always been one of our big focal points is to get books into kids' hands as early as possible and get them prepared for school.
And I understand this October you have a special initiative to make that possible.
That is correct. We're taking part in a national program called 1,000 Books Before Kindergarten. And it's a program run by a foundation called 1,000 Books Before Kindergarten. And the idea is to get parents to start reading to their children from birth all the way through kindergarten. And studies have shown that parents who read to their children at a very young age, the children develop literacy and language skills much faster. It aids in brain development. And even recently, the American Academy of Pediatrics has begun recommending to their physicians that they promote this to the parents of their patients. And it's a very important thing to get the kids ready for school and ready for reading and learning.
And it's funny because there's already so many famous people that we know they say they credit their success to having read books as a child or loving to go to the library.
Right, and it starts with the parents reading to the children before they're able to read themselves, and they see their parents reading, they hear the words, it improves their vocabularies, and it makes, once they do start reading, it makes reading, I think, a lot easier for the children who've had that experience.
And one of the wonderful things I like about reading to my son, he's just a little bit over 1, but it's a wonderful time for us, and he picks out which book he likes, and we may start 3 or 4 different books because, you know, you got to have several. But it really is a fun time, and sometimes it's not that we're reading the exact words, we're looking at the pictures, and he's telling me the story. But I've noticed that he knows words, and he can point to different numbers now.
Right. It makes a huge difference. And to promote this idea, beginning October 1st, we're going to have sign-up sheets for parents at the library where they can keep track of how many books they're reading to their children. And at 100 books, they will receive a tote bag. And then at 500, we're giving away some free books. And then when they finish the program at 1,000, hopefully they'll stay with it. Again, we'll be giving free books for the children, and hopefully at that point they'll be reading them themselves.
And that's the thing, is building that habit of learning.
Exactly. And again, you see a huge difference. I think teachers will tell you when the children arrive at first grade or kindergarten that it makes a huge difference if they've been read to and have been reading at home.
It only takes a few minutes to turn off the TV or put the screen aside, put the iPad down. And the great thing about kids' books is they really are fun. I mean, there are some fabulous books out there. I mean, everyone loves Goodnight Moon, but I mean, there's Winnie the Pooh, and there's Eric Carle, and there's great writers out there that really, if you haven't had the chance to, you know, read a child's book lately, you're missing out, because I'm actually rediscovering some new ones, and my friends are saying, have you read this to your kid? Now I'm buying them for me.
Well, it's amazing to see how many new ones come through, you know, in our collection, and you know, we're adding as many as 400 or 500 new items to the collection every month. Not all of those are children's books, but it's amazing. You know, they're still writing and producing these books for children, and they're fantastic. I think the quality is probably better now than it's ever been.
One of the things I love about going to a library, besides just the wonderful atmosphere, is you get to sit down and be exposed to a bunch of books, and if you have kids that are picky, it's very economical, because a membership to a library is a lot less expensive than buying a bunch of books they're never going to touch.
Well, and we're lucky, we're one of the larger libraries in the area, and we have a very large collection of children's books, an entire room full of picture books, and people who've been there know we have our little reading boat that we've had there, where parents and children can sit in the boat and read together, and it's just a fun time and a great way to learn.
Well, I want to thank you, Michael, for joining us. And make sure, if you're in the Claremont area, you check out 1,000 Books Before Kindergarten. It's not just great prizes, but it's a wonderful investment in your child's future.